Today I have 10 minutes of tips and tricks that has changed the way I play Black Ops 6 Zombies. From better point maximization, to not wasting my salvage, to actually being able to save ammo, and what augments to research first, and so much more. Let's get started. Without a doubt, the biggest thing that will improve your gameplay and change your gameplay is going to be the augment system. So here's what I would recommend researching first. I would highly recommend investing a little bit into Jug. There are augments that would increase your armor damage mitigation and give you more HP, especially if you're new, especially as you're learning the Black Ops 6 systems. Having that extra health, having that damage mitigation is really useful. Next up, I would invest in Energy Mine, specifically the Siren effect, because the Siren effect actually works as a monkey bomb. And then I would recommend Napalm Burst, because Napalm Burst is going to be, well, one of the most practical ammo mods you can have, at least on Liberty Falls. Now, there are a lot of other crazy augments, but I'm going to say I think we are all kind of undervaluing the ammo mod augments. I'm currently researching them, and they have some pretty wacky effects. But after augments, I think the next biggest change, the next most important thing you need to know is you need to have good movement here in Black Ops 6. Omni movement is so huge. The ability to sprint sideways, the ability to sprint backwards, and not only sprint, but slide backwards, slide at an angle, slide backwards. That is crazy. Creating distance from you and the Horde, creating distance away from the amalgamations and dodging the mangler cannons. Using that Omni movement is big. I'm on mouse and a keyboard, and so I have a specific keybind on my mouse that I use, not even on my keyboard, on my mouse that I use to slide, and it has changed the way I play this game, and I suggest you do something similar. At least get comfortable with the Omni movement, because man, oh man, it is fun. Also, PhD Slider is crazy. Again, there's a lot of fun augments, but PhD Slider, the ability to slide into enemies and kill them and to slide further distances, is really fun. Speaking of PhD, there are a lot of waist-high barriers that you might think you can't dive over. However, the dive, at least here in Black Ops 6 Zombies, has a little bit of a lift to it, so if you see a waist-high barrier, chances are you can dive right over it, and it's great for some action hero moments. As you start playing Black Ops 6, you're gonna notice something pretty quickly. Your points and your salvage are a resource, and they are diminishing as you go through the round. So how do you maximize these guys? First and foremost, you gotta get headshots. They changed the point system ever so slightly from Cold War, where headshots are actually worth more than melee kills. So if you're not getting headshots, you are not maximizing your points to their fullest extent. Additionally, there is another somewhat Cold War-esque system in terms of trials called the SAM trials. These SAM trials, at least when you're playing casually, are so huge. They reward you with salvage, extra points, extra perks, extra crystals, extra legendary tools, epic tools, rare tools, depending on the round you're at. And 9 times out of 10, in my experience, these SAM trials are really easy to get legendary. All you need to do is make the effort. Plus, you'll get some extra zombies. They don't give you the full points, but they give you some bonus points, so that is always good to do. If you're burning around, if you have nothing to do, go do a SAM trial. On top of that, as you're learning the maps, as you're subscribed and watching for all of my different side quest videos, learn the maps, learn the dig sites on Terminus, learn the whack-a-crab, the Easter egg on Terminus, learn how to get Deadshot early on Liberty Falls, learn how to do the Raining Zombies Easter egg for salvage on Liberty Falls. Utilize wall buys of weapons that you're using for your camo grind, and spend points on buying the wall buys so you don't have to use the salvage to increase its rarity. In fact, you can actually customize the wall weapons to have the attachments that you want through the zombie builds system. While you're in your create a class, you can use one of your builds and set them as a zombie build, so they appear in the mystery box and on the wall just how you like it. And while we're talking about resource management, we need to talk about armor. First and foremost, zombies don't deal as much damage to armor as you may think, especially if you've come from Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. However, we can only hold 3 extra armor plates as opposed to 5 like we could in Modern Warfare Zombies. With that being said, we don't want to waste our armor. So if you're feeling comfortable and you have 2 or 3 plates of armor and you lose less than 1 of them, if you get hit 1 time by a zombie, you probably don't want to use an entire armor plate just to repair 1 tiny little hit. But of course, you have to manage this properly, because if you get hit too much and your armor decreases too much, zombies will deal a huge amount of damage, especially after round 10, especially after round 30, and you will go down quickly, especially if you don't have ammo, which is one of the things you're going to notice that is different from Black Ops 6 than any other game. First of all, it's okay to buy ammo from the ammo stash. This is an expected game mechanic. They have balanced the game around this. Certain weapons I've noticed, like LMGs, have a lot of ammo, and I really don't need to buy anything from the ammo stashes. However, other guns like SMGs and shotguns and the more limited ammo capacity weapons, I find myself having to use the ammo stash quite frequently. However, if you prioritize the manglers first and your elite enemies, they will always drop some ammo. So if you only have 1 magazine and you have to choose between shooting the horde and killing the mangler, kill the mangler and he'll give you a couple extra magazines, which will save you on ammo, which will eventually save you on points as well. And of course, if you're having trouble dealing with the manglers, use Napalm Burst, it's what they're weak to. And once you have your primary weapon ranked up fairly well around round 25 or 30, I would highly recommend start upgrading a secondary weapon to help with ammo. So many times I have been on a bug round or a max ammo round and I've had no ammo. If only I had a secondary weapon that might not be as powerful, that can deal with the parasites or the vermin, that could get me to that max ammo and save me that little bit of points as well. On a different note, remember that you can change your gobblegum pack and field upgrades mid-game through the menu. If you're not happy with whatever field upgrade you have, you can just pause, go to the menu and change your field upgrade right then and there. And you can change your gobblegum pack, which is a lot bigger than you may think. You could have a gobblegum pack just for setting up that has Perkaholic and Hidden Power and Wonder Bar in it. And then you could switch to a different gobblegum pack for a boss fight that has Idolize and insta-kills. Now technically there's no way to change your augments mid-game, unless of course you decide to save and quit. Yes, you can save and quit in solo zombies now. If you save and quit in solo zombies and then reload the game back up after switching your augments will actually be changed. I don't know if this is a glitch, but it's been working for me for quite some time now, so use it as you will. But now let's talk about some of my favorite equipment. If you've been subbed to the channel, you know smokes are actually really powerful if you use them correctly. However, stuns and decoys are also really good, but my personal favorite lately has been the shock charges. These things shock the entire horde, they have a great blast radius, and they're really good for camo grinding because they hold zombies into place, they deal a little tiny bit of damage, and they're just super fun. In terms of your lethals, I found that they're a little bit less powerful than in previous games, they're a little bit more balanced, but I love the blast trap for its sheer killing power, especially if you use them like bouncing betties or claymores in previous games. Obviously, monkeys and Casimirs are the best, but just have fun, use something different. That being said, when talking about field upgrades, something that I've noticed is that there isn't a lot of get out jail free items in field upgrades anymore. We don't have Ring of Fire or Tesla Storm or Frost Blast. So if you do want that get out jail free card, I would highly recommend the Siren Augment on Energy Mine. Like I said, it distracts zombies and it serves as a good offense as well. Of course, after that, I would highly recommend Frenzied Guard or Ether Shroud. Ether Shroud is especially consistent. In terms of kill streaks, as you would suspect, the Chopper Gunner and Mutant Ejection are the best. So if you're holding onto those as a get out jail free card, do not be afraid of swapping them out mid-round. If you see a Chopper Gunner and you have a Chopper Gunner, use a Chopper Gunner, and believe me, that Chopper Gunner will still be there on the ground when you get out of your Chopper Gunner. Putting down sentry guns and using barrages can be a great way of thinning out the horde in the higher rounds. Now, I've saved the final two best tips for last. First of all, do not get so obsessed over the optimal play. You are going to see a ton of guides, a ton of videos about you need to have this rarity or this pack-a-punch by this round. You need to do this step by this round. You need to do the boss fight at this round. You need to point maximize these things to get over here so you can get the salvage, so you get these points so you could do this by this round. It's okay to not listen to that. The reason this happens, what happens is players learn these optimizations and they want to share them. They're not wrong, they're not bad, it's not malicious, but it can come off as overwhelming, especially to new players. If the guide says you want to be in the boss fight by round 30 and it's 34, don't worry about it. It's probably not going to be that bad anyway, unless you're on round like 75 or something ridiculous. It's okay not to maximize everything all the time. Try your best not to optimize the fun out of the game, because this game is difficult and you need to give yourself patience. This is the most difficult game we've had in probably 4 to 6 years since Black Ops 4. I just died really badly on round 41 on Terminus and I was really salty about it. But after a while I started thinking about it and I said, all right, what did I do wrong? What could I have done better? I really wasn't focusing on this. All right, didn't utilize this or that. And I started thinking of what I could do better next time. And I tell you, beautiful people, there's nothing I want to do right now more than play another game of Terminus and get to round 50. If this was an easy game, if it was easy every game to get to round 50, you wouldn't have a reason to challenge yourself. You wouldn't have a reason to get better. You would have completed the game and have no reason to play. And finally, this last tip, do not wait for the directed mode to come out for Easter eggs. You are way more capable than you give yourself credit for. Give yourself patience. And if you're really nervous about doing the Easter egg or going for high rounds, just take one small step. Try out the first step of the Easter egg. Try out the first step of this quest. See how difficult it really is. This is exactly what I do. I was really nervous for this Terminus quest and I said, hey, I'm just going to play a regular game of Terminus and I'm just going to do the first couple Easter egg steps. One thing led to another and I was at the boss fight already. I wasn't at the round that I needed to be, so I had to restart and start over, but it gave me the confidence to go back in and know that I could do it reasonably. Even if you have to lie to yourself, tell yourself, I'm not going to do all the steps, I'm just going to try this one thing out. See how far you could get. And if you're still still having trouble with the Easter eggs, look at the description and join my Discord. There is a channel dedicated to looking for players just for round-based zombies. You gotta use the right channels or I'll time you out, but there are hundreds and thousands of people in there looking for players to play with, especially now that Black Ops 6 is out. We are less than 2 weeks away from directed mode, so do not wait any longer. And if you're still having trouble, maybe you should try watching this video and stay beautiful.